Hi, and welcome to Adorama TV's Out of the Darkroom. Joining me today is photographer Joseph-Philippe Bevillard. Joseph was born to French parents in Boston, and he started drawing and painting at the age of 3 after he lost his hearing. He then later picked up photography in school and started his own unique way of communicating with the world through photography.
AdoramaTV presents Out of the Darkroom with Ruth Medjber.
Thank you for joining me today. It's my absolute pleasure to have you here. Can you explain to me, just tell me in your own words, what it is you photograph?
I like making black and white portraits of people, 12 format, with using medium format camera, 12 format camera.
So it's always medium format, black and white?
Yes, most of the time I use medium format. I like the format, I like the 12 format.
You keep it completely original with your borders.
That's right.
Why is that so important to keep everything in the picture?
I don't like cropping my image.
No.
I like to include what I see through the viewfinder of my camera. At 100 imagery.
Okay, so it's important for you to show exactly what is there.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
And I like to keep it consistent with the rest of the work, do everything square with black borders, no crops.
You've been photographing for years and years in Boston, in Paris, in Ireland, and all the pictures have the same format. They're all extremely consistent.
Yes.
So,
and sometimes I do architectural work.
Do you?
I do still life and still with the same format.
Okay, so you were never tempted to shoot digital, color? No.
I have done digital, but it's not
the same.
Not the same.
This is Ruth Medjber for Adorama TV. Don't forget to check out Adorama's latest contest online for your chance to win some amazing prizes.
Tell me then a bit about your subjects, because I've been looking at your work and you look for people that may not be represented in normal society, people who are on the outskirts, shall we say. I mean, is that right? Do you feel that?
That's right, because I'm attracted to people that are not me, you know.
That are just different from you, or?
Yes, different from me and interesting.
Interesting. When you arrived in Ireland and the taxi was bringing you from the airport, you come from Boston and it's your first time in Ireland, and you see travellers on the side of the road, maybe with their horses and their caravans, and the taxi man told you about them, and something about that went off in your head. And
yes, it was embedded in my head ever since. Before moving to Ireland, my former teacher from my college told me about the Irish gypsies with called the travelers. I had a hard time understanding what travelers mean.
What they are,
people explained to me that I like the gypsies, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not actually, they're not gypsies.
Their own ethnic group.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it took me years to understand them before I started photographing them in 2010.
In 2010,
yeah.
Okay. So you were learning about their culture before you started photographing them.
Yes.
Travellers here, they live kind of a secluded life, very much in their own community, and it can be quite difficult for someone who's not a traveller to visit and to make friends and to photograph. How did you do it?
I had a neighbor who was travelers to see them, but I spoke with them, and then I see them all the time in town when I was living in Ennis.
Okay.
And then I found out about Ballinsloe Horse Fair.
The horse fair, yeah, that's a big traveller event.
I went there and I noticed there was a lot of travelers, a lot of caravans. I went there in 2009 with a digital camera. And I took a few pictures with the digital camera, but I didn't have the camera with me, the film camera with me.
Okay.
And So the following year, in 2010, I bought my camera and I started photographing them. And for the past 5 years, I see the same people every year and I give them photographs.
So you take the photograph maybe 1 year, keep in contact and then revisit them with prints?
I visit the following year and I give them a photograph from last year.
Okay, so...
And they were very happy with it, and then that day, come on, I want you to take a picture of my sister, take a picture of my...
They bring you around.
Yeah, they bring me around.
The project that you've been doing since 2009, really, do you see yourself doing another type of project like this, or are you going to stay and work with the travellers some more?
Doing a different project at the same time.
At the same time?
I do the travellers project, I do street people project. I'm going to meet people in the street.
Just meet people in the streets?
Yeah,
What do you do? What's your process?
Okay, sometimes I see a group of teenagers, punk teenagers, you know.
Okay.
New wave, I don't know what they call it now.
Yeah.
And I hang around with them.
You hang around with them?
No, I don't talk to them, but I just get involved in their territory, you know, standing next to them and watching them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look for the person I want to photograph and I see the background, it looks good too. But I want them to know my presence before I can photograph them. And so I can make it easier for me to photograph them.
If they know,
I don't want to go up to them right away. They cannot take a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To hang around with them, like I did with the punkers 25 years ago.
Okay.
So I hang around with them, and sometimes you can talk with them a bit.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I look for one person that would stay yet.
So you pick someone that looks like they're willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after I photograph them, they tell their friends I'm cool. And then photograph their friends, you know. So,
I mean, what's reoccurring in all of your pictures is eye contact. Is very important to your images. Yeah. So I'm trying to think how difficult it is to do street photography, but get everyone to look at you in the same way, because everybody in your pictures seems to be really confident and posed and they're looking straight at you. I mean, is that one of your key features in your photographs, or is that just a coincidence? How does that happen?
Well, some people are photogenic, like the transvestite, that they're used to photographers all the time.
Because people are attracted to them because they put on a show.
Yeah, because the tubies.
Yeah,
they're different. That they're used to, and they know how to pose. They're very photogenic.
Yeah, but people on the street aren't in showbiz. They're just ordinary people. So the man on the bus in Boston, I think it was 1995, he's not in showbiz. He's not on the outskirts. He's not used to people, but there he is, and he's looking straight at you, and he's very posed and relaxed. How do you get him to be so? Give me back and take a picture of you, and then he says okay. And that's it. And then compose my camera. Composed, and then when I'm ready to take pictures, I have him to look right in the lens of the camera, and they just look at it. Yeah. Most people with this smile. Yeah, and they just don't smile. Just relax. Just relax your lips, relax, and just stare right in the camera. That's it. So you tell them, don't smile, just relax. Yeah, some people smile too much, they just relax. Yeah. And if they have problem smiling or laughing because their friend making them laugh, okay. So I tell them to go away. And so you'll tell people that they're with, go away, I'm taking a photograph. Yeah. No, well, not in a mean way, but nice politely. Way, for sure. And then tell them to look in the camera. If they have problems calming their lips, I tell them to look down the floor. Okay. And count 1, 2, 3, and they look up, and they look right in the lens. Wow. And I take the pictures. So that's your good tip on how to get a natural kind of natural expression, not a gimmicky kind of
Only
so just
if the person has problem relaxing their lips to the smiling
look
all the
down.
time. Yeah, laughing. You know.
count. Okay.
But that happens
Yeah. The odd time.
occasionally.
Yeah.
But most of the time, people just, when I say the word, just look in the line, all their mind focused on the camera.
You've moved from different locations, not through the world, but in a club, and then on the street, and on a bus, and
The bus and at the parties.
Yeah. So I mean, you're in these parties. Not very many people are using a medium format camera indoors at a nightclub. So can you tell me a little bit about the camera and the flash that you use? So it's a Hasselblad, right?
Yeah, that's a Hasselblad camera. Normally I use a normal lens, 80mm.
An 80mm, yeah.
Sometimes I use the 50mm wide angle lens because it's easier to focus and you get more depth of field. With the 50mm, you can capture the moment faster.
Okay.
Because with 50mm you don't have to focus much.
So it's
The 80mm, it's more sensitive focusing.
Okay.
You have to focus carefully before you take the picture. But with 50mm, you can have more depth of field, so you don't have to focus much.
Because it allows for a bit of space.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
a
with
good
the
point.
flash, I can preset the camera at f22
Wow.
with the flash.
Yeah.
And then I can get the focusing range.
Of what it is, yeah.
Yeah, for example, here you have infinity mark.
So you set it to
I
infinity.
set it at f22.
F22 on
And
infinity.
then from f22, there, one end to the other end at f22. You can play around from 8 feet to infinity.
So you know, once you have this lens set up on f22, you know that from a distance of 8 feet, it's going to be sharp. So, I mean, at f22 it would be. But you're saying that's with flash, yeah? So you flash as well. Like, look at this. This is fantastic. This is
the dome here, it gives soft lighting.
Yeah, diffused almost.
With the spotlight with perfect for 12 format.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because
So
it's
like
quite big.
in the center of the 12 format, you know. And then the slight vignette, sometimes there's a slight
Slight
vignette in the
vignettes,
corner.
yeah. Wow.
And sometimes there's a bouncing off a ceiling, but soft lighting through the wall, through the corner.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't see a lot of photographers anymore using 120 film and a flash like this. So it's really nice to see. Thanks for bringing it. Is that a filter on the front?
Yeah, that's the filter. I use the yellow filter for the skin tone of the person.
For the skin tones. Yeah. Is it just to
to protect the land, and also it take out the yellowness of the skin.
Okay.
Otherwise, the face would be more muddy gray. So the yellow filters help to enhance the look of the skin tone.
So it kind of, does it brighten the skin tones, like clear?
Yes, it brightens the skin tone. Also, it lightens up blonde hair.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, you know, obviously we're still shooting in black and white, but it kind of just brightens up the skin a bit. That's a good tip.
Yeah, it does. And also, it increases the contrast a little bit.
Does it?
Yeah, overall contrast. Like, for example, if you have a sky with clouds and using the filter, it gives more separation between the white of the cloud and the blue sky.
Okay,
so
punchier, stronger.
But without them, it'd be more blended.
Yeah. Will you ever move to digital? Like
if the Hasselblad could make me a digital back with the
square
film border.
So it's just the film borders you want to keep?
Yes.
We can put them on in Photoshop.
No, that's cheating.
Okay, so you might go for a Hasselblad.
The real thing. I'm a poet.
You're very much a purist. So after you've scanned your images, you have your image in the computer. I know you just said you're a purist, but do you do any Photoshop then?
Yes, only the same way I do it in a dark room, like burning and darkening. So, control, contrast.
Yeah. So only everything that you can duplicate in the darkroom, you'll do it in Photoshop.
Yeah. No adding or removing anything from the picture.
No removing?
No.
Ah, Because
I'm old, cool.
Yeah, but the images that you take, let's say all the travelers down in the halting sites, you know, by their caravans, they look like they've been shot 60, 70 years ago.
I don't put that in my mind when I do that. No, because they don't have time to think. It's timeless to try to make it look old. They just have time to focus on the person express.
Yeah.
Expression before I take the pictures, you know, and pay attention to the background.
Yeah.
They don't have time to think about timeless, you know what I mean?
Because they look gorgeous, they look old, they look like...
they do look old because the problem is the black and white film.
It is probably just the tone of it that we all think that it's
the
old.
tone of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
fantastic.
Film noir, you know,
yeah.
film noir.
So, I mean, what's next for you? What more do you want to do? Is there anything in particular that you want to go and photograph? Or, you know, what are you just going to continue with the travelers, or?
Yes, I will continue with the travelers for as long as I live, probably.
Okay.
And treat people.
Keep going.
Nightclubs, if I could. If I have the time, go to nightclubs.
So, what will happen when they stop making film?
I will have to stock up all the film.
Go buy loads.
And put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And buy from other photographers.
Just
you know.
keep it. So there's no chance you're going
I
to
don't leave my film. I do maybe 20, 30 rolls of film a year.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. So you just see what you want, take it, and you're done.
Sometimes I see a photograph from a person, just one, perfect. And sometimes I do a few more times.
Yeah.
But I never do a whole roll of the same person.
Wow.
Just maybe 3 or 4 out of plenty. That's why I take my time looking, take the background, get the right expression, and then take the pictures.
So a lot of our viewers are amateur kind of learning photographers. Do you have any advice to give them if they wanted to start in film or start taking portraits? What would you say to them?
I would tell them to start photographing families, relatives, neighbors.
Yeah, just everyone.
And if they're still nervous, they can have a glass of wine. I have told some of my students in the past to drink some wine and go out there and take pictures.
So that helps. Have a drink.
Yes.
Okay, get your confidence up.
And build up confidence, you know, break down the dryness and then the photograph. And then they thank me, you know.
Yeah, it's like that helped. Okay, well,
I used to do that when I was studying college.
Yeah.
And I go to nightclubs. I can be taken.
Yeah.
To have wine.
Have a glass of wine and the shakes stop. So you don't want camera shake on your camera, do you?
Right.
So that's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Joseph-Philippe, I've really enjoyed speaking to you today. Thank you. And I hope we get to see more of your series from the Travelers issue. Thank you very much. That's it for this episode of Out of the Darkroom on Adorama TV. Join me again where I'll be speaking to some more great photographers and we'll be learning about all their tips and tricks that they've learned along the way. Bye for now.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.